Hello, Advent family. Happy Friday. I wanted to send out this update to help you prepare for the coming week. Of course, next week is Holy Week, where we join with Christians all around the world to walk with Jesus in the final days of his earthly ministry, leading up to his suffering and death on the cross, and then ultimately leading to the great celebration of Jesus' resurrection on Easter Sunday. So I wanted to give you an overview of these services so you know what to expect. Beginning this Sunday is Palm Sunday on April 2nd. We're going to ask that you arrive a little bit early, be ready to go by 10:15 a.m. We're going to gather outside of the church. We're going to have someone playing bagpipes, and we are going to process around the building. We're going to have palms, and we're going to be waving them, and we're going to process around the building, and then we're going to go into the building, and this, of course, marks Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. And we're also going to have a children's choir, so very excited about that. Then I would encourage you to spend the following days, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, reading the daily office, reading the lectionary readings, reflecting on the passion of Jesus and those final days. And then on Thursday, we will be having our Maundy Thursday service. This is the beginning of the three services that mark Christ's Passion, ending with the celebration on Easter. And so Maundy Thursday, the word Maundy comes from the Latin word which means mandate. And we're going to wash one another's feet as we remember Jesus' mandate, his command, love one another as I have loved you. And this is a service that will conclude with the stripping of the altar as we remember Christ and his disciples leaving their meal and going into Gethsemane, where Jesus is subsequently arrested. There's not going to be any childcare at the Maundy Thursday service. This is a service that is very family friendly. We want kids to be there. We want to encourage you to come as a family and to plan to wash one another's feet. One of the most moving things I get to do every year is to do that with my own family, with my kids. And if you have really young children or would prefer to leave your infants and young children at home, you can also use the Child Care Reimbursement Fund if you would rather do that. Good Friday is going to be a service that is centered around an immersive reading of John chapters 18 and 19, where we take on the role of the crowd as Jesus is brought out before the crowds by Pilate. And the crowds yell, "Crucify him." And so it's going to be an immersive reading. There's going to be time to reflect on Jesus' saving work on the cross and an opportunity to venerate the cross for those who would like to do that. We'll explain more about that at the service. There's going to be child care actually offered at the Good Friday service. So we're going to have nursery care for children 6 months to 3 years. And then we're going to have an age-appropriate version of the Stations of the Cross for ages 4 through the 3rd grade. So if you want to bring your kids, but give them an opportunity to do the Stations of the Cross, we'll have that going on for them downstairs. Then, of course, we have our Easter Vigil that takes place on Saturday evening from 7 to about 10 in the evening. It's a longer service, but it's an amazing service. I think it might be my favorite service of the year. Historically, the Easter Vigil was an all-night service, and it was built entirely around baptism. It was centered on candidates who had been preparing to be baptized, to be formally welcomed into the church, and this was the final thing that happened before that Easter baptism. They would have a vigil that lasted all night, where they would pray and reflect on the story of salvation history and prepare themselves for baptism. Our service is not going to be all night, but we will be renewing our baptismal vows. We will be celebrating Christ's resurrection. If you've never come to the Vigil before, I highly encourage you to come. Please bring your friends, your family, anyone you can think of to ask. It's one of the few opportunities we have throughout the year to tell the full story of salvation history, beginning with creation and then going through the fall and then leading to Christ's saving work on the cross and the resurrection, which brings about the redemption of the world and ultimately points us to the hope of the new creation. So it's an amazing service. There's going to be a dessert reception immediately following the service. So this is a great service to bring people to. Also, don't forget to bring your bells, your noisemakers, anything that you can bring that makes noise to help us celebrate the Easter acclamation. There's going to be childcare for ages 6 months to the 3rd grade for the first half of the service, which is the service of darkness before the resurrection. And then children are going to rejoin their parents at the service of light. And children will be fed dinner. So if you want to bring your kids and put them in childcare, there will actually be food for them. So don't worry about that. We'll take care of it. And then, of course, this all culminates with Easter Sunday. We're going to continue the celebration that we begin at the Vigil. We're going to have our regular 10:30 a.m. worship service. And then afterwards, we're going to have a reception hosted by some of our current Foundations class members. So very excited about that. Some logistics just for you to be aware of. Please plan on registering if you're going to have kids participating in any of our children's programming, just so we know how many kids to expect so we can plan for food and things like that. Please also sign up to bring something for the Easter Vigil reception. That's really something that we do potluck style, so please sign up to bring something. The more we bring, the more we'll have. And lastly, we need some help with the lights for the Vigil. So if you can help with lights, we would really love to know that. Please send an email and let us know. And all of the links, of course, are going to be embedded in the email that this video is also attached to, so you can look there for all that information. I'm very excited. This is my favorite time of the year. I'm so excited at the opportunity to get to celebrate this with you, especially those of you for whom this might be your first time celebrating Holy Week in an Anglican tradition. So very excited to do this with you. Spend some time this morning praying for you all. I can't wait to see you this Sunday for Palm Sunday. And until then, God bless you.